So this is Monday, September 19th, 2022. Just doing a little boat inspection this morning, getting ready for our rigger. So I have a rigging inspection that I can submit to the insurance company so we can get permission to head towards Mexico next month. This is our dog Cooper. Say hello, Cooper. So we've made quite a few improvements over the last year. Most notably up here we have a solar panel, 100 watt, that's a temporary or permanent hookup, but for temporary power, emergency power if we need it. We hook it up to a Duracell 1800 watt power generator. So that works up as a backup to charging our e-propulsion motor for our outboard. We have a couple of diesel containers there on the side, backup fuel. We have now obtained the Florida registration and the Coast Guard seal of approval. We got the Florida registration because in California, the tax in LA County is outrageous. This year alone, it was $3,700 just to sit in this berth, and that's more than we can fathom. So on the end here, we have our e-propulsion motor with a cover. We've tried to cover just about everything. Up above, we have our 4-man automatic Viking emergency raft. Here's Wilson. He's fallen over a couple times. I broke his neck one time by accident, but he glued back together. There's Cooper again, escorting me. So we did have nice screens made up for the boat, and of course we painted all the windows. We're about 80% satisfied with that. At least it's better than it was. It's a nice contrast against the beige boat. Here we have emergency flashers. We had one on the boat last year, and we found a second one, so we'd have flashing lights on both sides for emergency purposes. We used it last year when we had to tow a boat from Ensenada, so it came in really handy when it got dark and pulling into the San Diego harbor. Here we have a searchlight that we put in because we came into the San Diego Bay about 8 o'clock at night, and it was pretty tricky because it was at the end of the bay and we just didn't have enough light. The little portable hand light just didn't work well for us. So this is a 220,000 candle searchlight. It rotates 360 degrees. So hopefully if we need it, it's available for us. It also rotates up and down, I think 18 degrees. Above are the 325 watt solar panels. We have 2 of those. So we're bringing in 750 watts of power. Seems to work pretty well when we're on the hook. We know our appliances pretty well now. We know how much each appliance draws and how far we can take it. Usually we'll cook breakfast in the morning. Those are the devices that suck up a lot of energy, the toaster, oven, and that. But if it's a good sunny day, then we're able to recharge by the end of the day. We have additional batteries installed now. We had 6 house batteries, and also a Victron 3000 watt inverter. There, of course, is our new dinghy. The only thing we haven't quite figured out yet is how we're going to haul it with us. We can deflate it and put it in the front of the boat, or we can pull it, or we can bite the bullet and install a dinghy davit system on the back, which is always a little costly. So this is basically the stern area. Just washed about 2 days ago. And it cleans up pretty good. We'd been off the boat for about 6 weeks, and a little bit of rust here and there. We took care of that. It wasn't as dirty as we thought. So our jib is in great shape now. We had a UV cover put on it last year, and then we have a brand new main, Quantum Sails. So it works very well now. On the front there we have extra propane gas. And then last year we put in this 55-pound Mantis anchor, and it works like a charm. So when we pick an anchorage and we drop it, it stops us dead in the water. A lot better than that Danforth that was hanging up here. So for the most part, this is kind of part 2 of the inspection of the boat there. We have really invested in supplies, in redundancy of everything we can possibly think of, because we know once we go south next month that getting parts are really tough. So you've literally got to think of everything. Besides getting approval from Geico Boat US for approval to go south, we also have to buy liability insurance for Mexico through MexPro. And that's good for as long as we stay in Mexico, and then on to Costa Rica from there. We may spend some time in the Sea of Cortez. It all depends. So on October 27th, we'll be in San Diego for 3 days and meet the Panama Posse for the first time. And look forward to meeting some fellow boaters and maybe a possible buddy boat. We talked to somebody yesterday that's following just about the same track that we are, going down to Ensenada, and then making their way down to Cabo, and then Barra de Navidad. And at that point, we'll kind of get an itinerary for the Panama Canal. So a lot of people are heading towards the Caribbean, so it looks like we'll always have company. And of course we have AIS, so we can see other boats, and they can also see us. So generally speaking, I think we're in pretty good shape. We've got Zoleo for communication. We have a new chart plotter that was installed a couple months ago. And I believe that pretty much concludes what's going on with the boat. We have a couple of minor things to get on the boat as far as replacement parts. We've got to have a spare motor for every motor that's on the boat. And today, Scott, our rigger, is gonna climb the mast, change our wind vane for us, check all the fittings up there, maybe change some light bulbs to LED if they're not LED already. And then we should be in pretty good shape. As soon as we get the inspection done, then we'll submit it to the insurance company with my updated resume, Cheryl's resume, and Larry Davis, who will be crewing with us, his resume. And right now I'm waiting to hear from the Mariner's Learning System, the course that I took. So hopefully, if I passed it the first time, that will go a long way with the insurance company. Now we can always just go without insurance, but it's quite a risk when you're out of the country. But with that said, I think this will conclude our boat inspection for today. And we're going to try to make several of these as we go along to keep you updated. We appreciate you watching, and if you would share the video with others. If you have any questions, please let us know. We're at followingepsilon@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a great Monday. This is Bill.